It's my pleasure today to introduce to you the latest product innovation from Sioux Tools, our RO Series Random Orbital Sander. But before I get into the design features of this new tool, let me ask you a question. The last time you had an opportunity to go through a plant utilizing sanders, did you take note of the different size of hands? Did you notice left-hand users and right-hand users? Did you also notice there are more females today joining our workforce, bringing to us the challenges of their smaller, petite-sized hands? Did you also notice how the operators have a preferred position that they use to hold the sander? And if you noticed all that, then you are truly going to appreciate some of the design attributes of this new sander from Sioux Tools. At first glance, you might say to yourself that this sander appears no different than any other sander in the marketplace. Well, yes, you're somewhat right. They all look very similar. They have an operating paddle, a grip, an output shaft, but this tool is truly unique. And let me show you why. The first unique feature of this sander is that I can remove this grip. Now, why is that important? Well, take a look at the design. See that it is elliptical in shape? See the larger dimension at the top, narrow at the bottom? That allows you to orient that grip in your palm so you find the perfect position for your hand size, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, small-handed or large-handed. You will find a position that is comfortable for you personally. Once you have found that position, then you are able to orient that grip onto the sander based on how you personally like to hold that sander. On the inside of the cover, there are 24 notches built into the inside of the grip. Once it is fit snugly back onto the tool, these notches will hold the grip in place, and it will not want to shift and move around on you. Simply reapply the grip, and I have now found the most comfortable position for me personally. And again, the beauty of this feature is that you can find your own personal position that works for you, whether you are right or left-handed, male or female. The next unique feature to the Sioux Orbital Sander is the operating lever. Notice the curvature. And why is the curvature important? Well, look at the palm of your hand. Notice that it's not flat, it has curvature to it. Unlike the sanders available today, where the operating paddle is just dead straight. By designing the power lever that way, we have eliminated all the pressure points from the grip and the paddle. And why is that important? Well, the fact is that operators will use this tool for 6 to 8 hours a day. It is therefore vital that they have the ultimate in operator comfort that we as a company can give them in the design of this sander. The more comfortable the operator, obviously, the more productive he or she is going to be. While we are conducting our engineering and marketing research into the random orbital sanders available today, and the likes and the dislikes that exist within the models available in the marketplace, we found a growing concern about the disassembly and reassembly of the air motor that's inside the housing. I'd like to take a few moments to show you how simple it is to extract and reassemble the air motor in our new sander. The starting point is to remove the locking ring. Once you have removed the locking ring, it is then simply a question of extracting the motor. Now, before I reassemble the two components, let me take an opportunity while I have the motor out to go through some very important design attributes of this motor. First, you'll notice that the motor is actually suspended in two rubber elements, which reduce the amount of vibration transmitted from the motor back through the housing and back to the operator. Also notice the O-ring. The O-ring separates the motor from the air intake to the exhaust. On the underside of the motor, there is a patented feature which we refer to as our dust protection shield. That protection shield is protecting the double-stacked bearing on the front end of the motor from the contamination that is typically generated through the use of the sander. But perhaps the most important design attribute of this motor is the counterbalance weight. This counterbalance is precisely machined for each of the orbits available from Sioux. The 3/32 orbit has a specific counterbalance. So does the 3/16 and also the 3/8. That eliminates the vast majority of the vibration that is generated in this motor package and vastly reduces the vibration transmitted to the operator. Reassembly of the motor is extremely simple. You will notice in the housing that there is a permanent mark. In the motor, there is a location pin. Simply align those two elements. The motor drops in place. Reapply the locking ring. Seat the motor and lock the motor back in place. Now at this point, you would have to utilize the special locking wrench that is available from Sioux Tools. And be sure to apply 200 inch-pounds of torque, and you have then locked this motor correctly into the housing. It's as simple as that. What I'd like to do now is to show the performance of the tool. To best demonstrate the difference between this sander and other sanders sold in the past, I will use the one-finger test. You notice that I'm applying very little pressure and that the tool does not want to walk away or jerk out from underneath my finger. Let me show you one of our earlier models, our Model 890, and try the one-finger test again. Not very good. Notice how it wants to jump? It's impossible. No, I cannot control this sander the same way that I could control the new RO Series sander. The Sioux RO Series sander program consists of 60 models in total. The options available to you are pad sizes of 3, 3.5 inch, 5 inch, and 6 inch. Orbits are available in fine, which is the 3/32, the standard, which is this model here, of 3/16, and there's also a coarse available of 3/8. When I talk about the orbits available, it's important to note that each of those orbits comes with its own distinct color of locking ring, so you can easily identify the orbit that is in use throughout the shop. The standard 3/16 comes with a black locking ring, the fine 3/32 with a red, and the coarse with a gray. Your next choice in sander is the vacuum system. This is the standard sander. There is no vacuum system attached to this. You would typically use this with a downdraft table. This model here is for utilization with your central vac system. You would either attach the hose to your central vac system in the plant, or you can simply attach it to a shop vac. Last, we have the Venturi type, a self-generation vacuum system which discharges into a bag. And then finally, you have the choice of two pads, either the pressure sensitive, which we are using here for this demonstration, or the hook and loop system. In closing, I'm sure that you will agree with me that the new RO Series sander from Sioux Tools has some very unique features and benefits. But perhaps the most important feature of all is the simple fact that you can tailor-make this sander to form the operator's preference of both grip and orientation, thereby getting the optimum productivity out of the operator. I challenge you now. Take this sander for a spin around your shop. I promise you that you will not want to put it down.